Welcome back to the round table here at Round Table Talk, where we go through the latest episode of the Traitors. My name is Kevin Oliver.
And my name's Brett Parnell.
I don't remember what my name is.
That tracks.
My name is Bruce Heller, actually.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi. How is everyone?
Wonderful.
Doing great.
How are you, Bruce?
I'm good. I'm a tad on the tired end because I woke up like an hour before I usually do.
Tell us why, Bruce.
Yeah, so I had to drive 3 hours to a town in Illinois called, actually a little bit under. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes to a town in Illinois called Joliet because I had an appointment with a dog rescue place. And I adopted a dog. They showed me like 5 different ones. They were very thorough because they knew what I was looking for from my application. So my new dog, Mercy, is a 1 year old Australian cattle dog mix that is laying on the floor next to my desk in the recording room right now. She may or may not come climb on me during the episode. I don't know. I doubt she'll come up and lick my ear like Casey did in one of my episodes at home, though. She's not as hyper or energetic, or she's a lot calmer than Casey is. So,
Well,
which is good.
hi,
I
Mercy.
couldn't handle Casey.
Welcome to the Reality Realm family.
Yes, welcome.
Mercy. By the way, this is
Welcome.
Tribal Council Chat, a Reality Realm show, as I forgot to mention when I opened.
This is not Tribal Council Chat.
This is not Tribal Council Chat.
No.
We were talking about Tribal Council Chat before.
We were before we started.
This is Roundtable Talk, a Reality Realm show.
Go check out Tribal Council Chat, though.
And Pit Stop Pals.
Yep.
And Next Generation Challengers.
Yep.
If you want to. I'm not on that show, so they don't have to check it out, but
they got some good stuff coming up with the start of All-Stars 5, right?
Started
They do,
All-Stars
eventually.
5, and for those people in the audience that like to be a little bit or a lot spoiled, Flyout Day for 41 is this week.
Ooh.
yeah, I didn't know that till you sent me something about it yesterday.
We won't be commenting on it on the show until it's official by MTV.
Oh, for sure.
TT and I won't be spoiled in the show, but cast spoilers are not really harming anyone as far as I'm concerned.
Are there rumors circulating already?
There's a ton out there, and who knows what's real and what's not.
Definitely.
All I know is I didn't know that was the release date till he sent me someone's Instagram story saying they were going to be gone for a while and said, challenge leaves tomorrow. At like 10 something last night, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. When we're off recording, I want to know who you sent him.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, once we're not recording.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then you guys take it away, walk us through the episode.
Well, I want to do one more thing before the episode, just for bragging rights. Bruce, Kevin, Super Bowl predictions. What's the final score?
I'm
gonna say Chiefs 27, Eagles 20.
I think the Bears are gonna win.
That's a good bet.
I mean, they're bound to win something at some point.
I'm going 31-28 in favor of KC.
Nice.
Kansas City's gonna win by a touchdown.
Nice. All right, let's get into it.
That's not a final score.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
Bruce
he
is
literally
disqualified.
said
He cheated.
final scores.
1,000,000-0.
That's not a touchdown difference.
Well, quit poking holes in my faulty logic.
Would I really be me if I didn't?
I'll say 28-21 since you're gonna pin me down on this.
There you go. That is a touchdown.
Indeed. And an extra point.
Which we all know this year has been not a guarantee.
That's true.
Especially if you're Buffalo going for a 2-point extra point. Sorry, that just popped into my head.
And then Brett has to sing Taylor Swift song on camera.
Yep, I sure did. If you haven't watched that episode, go check out Cast Interactions on Tribal Council chat.
Great episode, by the way.
It was
Because
fun.
of Brett singing solely.
Yeah, I mean that's won it over for me. See, if we had a TikTok for Reality Realm, that would have been prime content right there.
Yeah, prime content, and that is a thing that I will never put on my phone.
I'm not against it. I've just never done it.
Buzzkill.
Vine is a really stupid reason, though, because I've always just felt like it's a ripoff of Vine, and I miss Vine. So.
That is a stupid reason.
But anything that's on TikTok shows up on my Instagram Reels and my
3 weeks later.
And my Facebook Shorts.
3 weeks later.
All right, let's get into the Traitors episode 7.
Yes.
So once again, this is the 3rd week in a row that we've seen it. We start the episode, there's a fight in the turret. And what happens?
And what happens?
And everything breaks loose.
Absolutely. I mean, they left us last episode.
Oh, there she is, making her first
Oh,
reality
hey,
appearance.
Brittany.
Hey, you're on camera, just so you know.
Yeah, she understands. Yeah.
Up for a second. So.
Yeah. So, we ended last episode in a very precarious situation, where Danielle and Carolyn were just biting each other's heads off, and that's where we pick up here. So,
yep.
I mean, it's great TV, not great for them, but great TV.
But once again, I guess the point where I was thinking of what happens is
for the 3rd week gets his way.
That's it.
I knew what you were looking for.
And again, I sat on here last week and said I didn't think they would kill Derrick because that would make it look really obvious. And what does Rob do is he kills Derrick.
Except this time, it did not pan out well for him.
Yeah.
I said it wouldn't pan out for him. Why would he think that was a good idea? Actually,
you predicted Danielle was going home this week.
I did say they shouldn't kill Derrick, though. So I was
You did.
That's what I'm going to remember.
I agree. I was just pointing out.
I remember the things I was right about, and I forget the things I was wrong about.
It's all right, because I was right about who was going home. So.
Speaking of you saying things, you did text me this past week before the episode and said you decided Danielle is a good traitor.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you like to speak on that?
Okay. And I didn't say that she's a good traitor, which I don't think she's a bad traitor. And I think that I've heard enough arguments and I've thought it through, and it makes sense. So when we think about this, and the things that Danielle is doing that we're calling as a bad traitor, think about who is saying that she's a bad traitor, who is saying her name. Almost every time, except for Jeremy Collins, any time that anybody has put her name out there, it has been another traitor or somebody watching the show saying that she's not good at this. And every time a traitor puts her name out there, they are told, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Danielle is doing things that we might see as obvious things that a traitor would do. But I think it's more than clear that the faithful do not agree. If we, especially, I look back to this last week with Peacock's YouTube video with Bob H. and Wes. They were floored. If I look back to about any other week, almost everybody, when they found out who the 3 traitors were, was shocked about Danielle, except for Jeremy and one other, I can't remember who. One other person kind of thought they had clocked Danielle. But almost everybody that leaves this game is still blown out of the water by what Danielle's doing. So what is obvious to us, like, for instance, we think that she's overacting. we also know that she's a traitor.
Yep.
Yeah.
If she was doing that same thing and was a faithful, we wouldn't have anything to say about it.
True. It's working.
Yeah, it's just our vantage point is skewed because we know what they don't, and so I that being said, I don't think Danielle's a bad traitor.
I also think like because on the very first season, Suri came into the Traitors turret and just steamrolled and made it look easy. No one has come close to that, so we think they're all not good to bad. When in reality, Suri was just really good and kind of messed up our perception on
That's
how
valid.
good the Traitor is.
Suri was incredible.
And that was the first thing we saw. So I feel like that's what we expect as fans.
I'm just gonna say, because we live
Hey
across.
Brett.
Yeah.
You're barely on camera.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My show's rolling. I'm just gonna say that because we live internationally from each other, and in Canada, season 1 was dropped like 6 months later and all at once. This might be a great thing if you guys talking about Suri to go back and watch it in off season and talk about it, because I have never seen season 1.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Oh my
I know.
God. No, that would be incredible. I would love that.
Yeah.
So we
My
should
mom
maybe
has been-
think about doing that in the summer for this show when we're in
Definitely.
between
Season
seasons.
3 started, and when we started this show, my mom started binging starting at season 1, and I think she got to the start of season 3 today.
Oh wow, nice.
Great.
And
Season
she
1's
did-
incredible. It does not disappoint.
Let me
Yeah,
find-
they dropped it in Canada all at once while I was out of the country, and by that time was just like missed it.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
She sent me a text today, her first season 3 thoughts. Well, the first one was, I hate they got rid of Jeremy. But after that was, Sandoval is such a weirdo. And we talked a lot about him just kind of not knowing what's happening last week. So
she's pretty much caught up.
I guess. I don't know. He's been a weirdo the whole season. So,
Right, but Jeremy wasn't like episode 1 or anything.
No,
Yeah.
but it's been an episode. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. And this was episode 7. Now it's probably episode 5.
Yeah. I just love the Sandoval is such a weirdo line, which was the beginning of like a paragraph. But
It's true. Hey, I do.
That's good TV on here though. Like, I know he seems like a not good dude, but he's so funny to me on this show.
Especially last week when he had the rubber ducky in the bathtub. It was great.
You guys keep talking. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Forgot about the rubber ducky.
Yeah, it was great. Yes, Sandoval is great. What are you doing?
I'm listening to you.
Okay. Sandoval is great TV. And really, he's not terrible. He was pretty hot on Rob's tail this week, even when half the castle was trying to convince him otherwise.
Yeah, one of his 80,000 theories was finally correct. I guess this was bound to happen, but
yeah, hey, if even a broken clock's right twice a day, you know.
And I'm right all day, so I'm a working clock.
You are not right all day long. That is not true.
Well, I tried.
And failed.
I will not be appreciated until after my time, much like the great Vincent van Gogh.
You say that all the time.
And you have yet to find a way to refute it.
Yeah, I literally told you you'd just never be appreciated.
Fair enough. I'm a visionary, I believe, is what I called myself last time we were texting.
Yeah, you did. And I said you were blind.
I should put that in my Instagram bio with no context. Just add the word visionary into it.
I think that should be on your tombstone.
Gosh.
It should be like one of those things where you press a button and they speak to you.
Like that video of like the random gas station bathroom that you hit the button and it becomes a disco party?
I did not know that was a thing.
I will find the video and send it to you for you to watch on Instagram later.
Okay.
Pretty sure I have it saved in my saved post on Instagram.
Sounds delightful.
But it's like a sign that says, whatever you do, don't press this red button. And they press it, and then colorful lights and a disco ball come on. But it's like a
Does it,
gas station bathroom.
does it start singing Disco Miniature Golfing Queen?
No, but it should.
It should. I wonder where Brett went.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, you're making great content right now, Bruce.
Sorry, I was trying to find this video I was telling you about.
How dare you?
I'm still here though. I didn't leave the show mid show.
Yes, but we have to still we're still recording.
Yes.
And we don't have any post-production, so yet.
Fair enough.
One day we will have post-production.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
But
I just need a good enough computer. Oh, okay. Okay, we're just gonna start.
okay.
Okay. So I was waiting for Brett, but Brett may or may not be back for a while. So we're just gonna talk about this episode from where we were. We were in the turret, and we've been arguing. Bruce, are you here with me?
Yeah, I'm listening. We've been
Okay.
arguing and we're in the turret.
Yeah. And we finally start to discuss. And what are some of the names we're discussing? Derrick is
Bad
a big
idea.
one. Bad idea.
Too obvious.
Who else did we talk about? We talked about who else did we talk about?
I'm thinking.
We talked about a lot of people. Sam was a target.
He had a confessional this week. He not only talked, but he talked to us
It was wild.
during the bug challenge.
He really impressed me in the bug challenge.
The bug challenge was wild by itself, by the way.
It was, and we'll get there. Yeah. But Derrick was somebody they talked about. Sam was somebody they talked about. They talked about a few other names like Sierra. For some reason, nobody could get on the same page.
Shocker. It's almost like that's been happening every turret.
Yeah, it's wild. Like every time Rob would say a name, Danielle would argue it. Every time Danielle said a name, Rob would argue it. Carolyn was not that big of a factor, I don't think, in the turret.
She doesn't like either of them, so I guess she watched.
Besides the arguing, when they actually got to talking about who they were going to kill, Carolyn didn't play much of a factor.
Yeah, we did get 2 or 3 times of Rob saying, "Oh, come on, Danielle."
Yeah.
And like the same exact tone, but he said it like 2 or 3 different times throughout the conversation. I'm like, good comeback.
They also was it this week or last week? They hugged in the turret at one point. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, once again, like Brett already led us into, Boston Rob got his way, and Derrick Levasseur, Cage Boy number 2, is the next one murdered. So we find out at breakfast the next morning. Bruce, did you have any thoughts from breakfast?
I do. Let me find it. Yes. Hi. I know you're here, and I'm not paying attention to you. You're fine.
I want to mention something that I lost it. I wrote this down. I don't take a lot of notes with Roundtable Talk.
Yeah.
I just it's very different from Pit Stop Pals, because Pit Stop Pals, I take endless notes.
I kind of just take the note when I'm watching all 3 shows that I cover. I kind of just take notes the same way for every show. I don't know if I've cleaned it out yet, but you can probably scroll through the notes on my phone and find my note pages for a lot of episodes.
Well, I do not work like that. Usually For Pit Stop Pals, I do endless notes. When I cover an episode of Survivor with you, I do endless notes. When I do Roundtable Talk, I barely do any notes. I just
Nice to
roll
know
with
what
it.
show you care about.
What?
I said nice to know which show you don't care about.
That is not at all what this is.
I know, I'm joking. I'm giving you crap.
Usually I don't lead the episode, so I'm
Yeah.
able to just freely comment and not just have to follow an outline basically. And so I like to differentiate.
Yeah.
That's besides the point. I wrote one note down this week, and it was the quote from Alan at breakfast. He said, "Good morning, you crumpet munchers." So from now on, I'm going to call you all crumpet munchers.
My quote I wrote down from breakfast was Brittany saying that Ivar is just furniture at this point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that
Room
was
to
hilarious.
room.
She said basically all he does is make tea and deliver it to people all day.
Yeah, and move from room to room.
Yeah.
She, like last week and this week, she's becoming very quickly my favorite person. She is hilarious.
She is. Now you got to go watch your Big Brother seasons.
Maybe. I might just find a YouTube compilation of her confessionals. But
Guys, don't listen to Bruce. He's never going to sit down and watch a full season of Big Brother. If Sari could,
I just said I might not. I literally just said I would find a YouTube compilation.
But before that, you said I might.
Which is not committing in any way.
I know. I'm just telling them. If Sari Fields couldn't get him to watch a season of Big Brother, nobody can. I don't even think you would watch if we told him Boston Rob or Kelly Wentworth was going to be on there.
Those two I might, but that might be the only two.
What if we told you that Nayanka Mixon was going to be on there?
I would burn my television.
What if we told you Devi Adaris was going to be on there?
Maybe, probably not. Again, it would be keeping up via Twitter and YouTube mostly.
Yeah, because Bruce thinks that he's too busy for 3 nights a week.
3 nights a week and live feeds.
You don't have to watch live feeds.
I've been told that if you don't, you miss a lot.
You do, but you don't have to.
It's just so long. It's what, 100 days? I do like that it's live. Like they're in the house as it's airing. That's cool.
It's only been 100 days once. It's usually more like 90.
Oh, that's such a big difference.
You asked, I answered.
That's
anyway,
10 days. That's 2 whole weeks, according to Tony Vlachos.
According to Tony Vlachos, that's true. Anyway, Brett isn't here to rein us back in, but breakfast. Do you have any more thoughts on breakfast?
Derrick killed. Bad move, I think. I covered that. Tom realizes.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think it was a good move.
I do love Tom. Again, not sure where he thinks he is, but Tom being like, oh, all the people that are getting killed after they threaten Rob. Everyone else figured that out. Like, Tom thought this was such a great...
No, they didn't. Not everybody. Not everybody. You still got Dylan Efron here who thinks that there's no way Rob could be a traitor.
Fair enough. And we some reason compared him to Peter. But I just love that Tom thought he had this great revelation when, like, a lot of people figured that out already.
Well, to be fair, it is Tom Scandival we're talking about here.
He's such good TV just because he's just kind of seems to be out of the loop on everything.
Are you sure he's not your favorite?
He's not my favorite. That's Brittany right now. But Tom's funny. He's good content.
You talk about Scandival way more than you talk about Brittany Hayes.
Brittany's come on strong the past 2 episodes. They weren't giving her any screen time or confessionals until then.
Well, yeah, but you haven't talked about Tom near as much as you have in these last 2 episodes either.
He's just funny to me. I don't know, I don't know what he's doing, but I don't think he does either.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
I'm like, Rob's my favorite, of course, because of prior, but based on this season alone, it's right now it's Brittany. She's been hilarious. So now that they're giving her screen time.
Absolutely. And we get some confessionals here during breakfast talking about how if Rob walks through that door, he is no doubt a traitor. Which
Yeah.
he is. Yeah. And I just don't think that Rob Mariano was ever long for this game.
No, he made it longer than I thought he would, though, which is cool.
You say that, but I recall when I tried to say that, you saying, we didn't think he was going to last that long in Dondi either.
Well, yeah, he lasted longer than we thought he would. I thought he would go home like the third episode.
You
I
told me
wasn't saying he would go deep. I was saying he wasn't guaranteed to go early.
It just seemed like you were always pushing back against the early exit.
I push back against 90% of the things you say, on and off camera.
That's
so. Where are we?
We are at breakfast.
Okay.
And
We
you're
were
a crumpet
gone for
muncher.
like an hour, and we only made it to breakfast.
And you're a crumpet muncher.
I was expecting us to be like, crap, I'm missing the round table.
You expect way too much from the two of us.
That's true.
You're who reins the two of us back in.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
And you're the one who leads us along because I don't take very detailed notes in this show. And so
you did miss that after the past 2 episodes, Brittany is now my favorite on the season since they're giving her screen time in confessionals now.
Yeah, she is playing a really good end game so
She's
far.
so funny.
Oh yeah.
I saw somebody on Twitter saying that they have a very strong feeling that they're going to recruit Brittany.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, I could see that with her and Danielle reconciling this episode, which was my last note after breakfast, but before the mission.
Do you have any thoughts on breakfast, Brett?
I mean, you guys might have mentioned it, but I was laughing so hard when I can't remember who it is, but someone was just like, Ivar got murdered and Ivar is sitting right there.
That's true. See, I had an Ivar quote, but it was
we didn't mention
Ivar furniture.
Yeah, and how he just makes tea all day and delivers it.
Yeah.
But we did not.
I saw a clip of that on Instagram of someone saying, "What if Ivar got murdered?" I think it was Gabby, maybe.
Yeah, and he was the first one in the room.
And he spoke up to like, "Hey, I'm actually here." Oh my gosh.
Brett, did you hear Alan call everybody crumpet munchers?
No, I did not. That's funny.
He walked in and said, "Good morning, crumpet munchers," and that was the only note I took on the whole episode.
Well, good thing you took it because my mom was talking at that point in time.
It was my favorite thing ever, and so now that might be how I open the show from now on.
That would be hilarious.
Good morning, crumpet munchers.
There you go.
That's it. That's the one. We've been searching. We found it.
Do we have anything else before the mission? Because I don't.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. I will hand it back over to Brett leading us in a second, but the mission was where my weekly Allen fashion update comes from. And
Oh my gosh.
I put bridal suit with 2 question marks. I legitimately thought he was wearing a bridal dress for like half a second.
Oh, so did I.
So goofy.
So the thumbnail of this episode on Peacock was him. It was a close-up of his face, and he had this veil on. And I was very concerned going into this episode.
Well, seeing it really didn't calm any of my concerns.
No, but I did appreciate the roses hanging over his shoulder.
It was, yeah, and like the whole, like the cast members were all dressed to the nines for this mission also.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Hey,
were-
I saw a thing on Boston Rob's uh on Boston Rob's in social media, whatever. I don't remember what app it was, but he said it was a picture of him in his outfit from that challenge, and he said, "See what happens when they take me out of the backwards ball cap."
I did see
That
that.
was funny.
I saw that on Twitter, and Russell Hantz retweeted it and said, "That's not why you lost. You lost because you played a bad game," or something like that.
Man. All right. Traitors season 4. Russell Hantz versus Rob Mariano.
Traitors Redemption Island.
Yes.
Run a full Traitor season with the Redemption Island cast.
Oh, dear Lord. No, I will not be covering that season. You guys can do it without me.
Oh, I would find that entertaining.
And that's where we differ.
Then again, I've Zoomed with Andrea before, so.
Oh, I love Andrea Belke. But, Bruce, where does Redemption Island rank in my seasons?
A lot lower than mine, I'm guessing.
49th place.
Something like that.
It's not that high on mine, but it's not low either. It's somewhere in the 30s.
Here we go. This was what Russell said, retweeting the "see what happens when they take my backwards hat away." No, what I see is the same shit that happened to Dan. Stupid people don't stay in their lane. You're not a good player, and this showed. Your gameplay was laughable.
Yeah, says the guy who can't win anything.
That's wild.
It's insane, but it's kind of on brand for him.
Oh, it's definitely on brand for him.
And with all these shows happening, with all these shows happening that are bringing back popular reality people, I'm just bracing for him to appear on one of them. I have this gut feeling that he's going to be back on TV sometime soon.
House of Villains.
If we get a House of Villains with Russell Hantz and Amanda Garcia, I'm probably not watching.
And throw, like, because I think they need to keep the New York bit going and just have her be on every season.
100%. 100%.
Her and Russell also.
Oh,
Bring Omarosa back from season 1 if you really want some spice with Russell. Someone that's just not going to back down to him at all.
New York would never back down to him. We don't need Omarosa.
New York wouldn't either. It's just different flavors of it.
We don't need Omarosa. Get her out of here.
I would agree with you on that, but her and Russell would be fantastic television.
All right, we'll see him in the Traitors together.
I mean, you never know. They might actually not clash.
Russell on Traitors would be great.
Yeah.
Omarosa is going to be on Traitors too. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
Russell on Traitors would be fun because like all his like BS theory is just what the show is. It's mostly a guessing game sometimes.
Yeah. So let's get into the mission then.
Yeah, this mission is absolutely wild.
Yeah, everybody gets married.
Yeah, I was like the worst wedding ceremony of all time, except the 50% of them that don't end in actual marriage.
So we have funerals, we have weddings. What's next? A bar mitzvah?
Oh, that's good.
Not only getting married, but having bugs dumped on them and having to touch other bugs in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And snakes.
Yeah.
Roaches was one of them. I remember that because Brittany had a confessional that roaches were everywhere and that they were even in her bra.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it.
Way more honest than I was expecting anyone to be in this challenge. But
I get a text from Bruce that said, "Roaches in my bra is not something I was expecting to hear today."
It wasn't. He usually wants me to text him a few thoughts while I'm watching the episode. I'm like, well, this is not what I was expecting to hear, but that made me laugh. Again, her confessionals are amazing.
That wasn't even was that even a confessional?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was. Okay.
And speaking of, I said this to Kevin already, but Brett, we had a Sam confessional in the mission.
Yeah.
Not just like him saying a couple words to another cast member. He actually talked to us. Finally.
And Sam was like the MVP of this challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finally doing stuff.
Still not a lot, but stuff nonetheless.
He's one of the final last 4 men standing at the end of this episode. It's him and Tom and Dylan and Ivar are the men left in this game.
By golly, I guess you're right.
Always.
No.
I'm a visionary. We mentioned this already, Brett, I called myself a visionary while texting with Kevin last night. So.
And I told him he was blind.
So, yeah. There was also maggots that got dropped on them. Some people were crying at some point, and the camera cuts to Ivar and Dylan, who are laughing.
I'm pretty sure you would also be crying if this was happening to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd cry. I would hate it. The snake thing especially. But like the
I would hate
crying wasn't
that
what I
part.
was laughing at. It was the contrast of like Dylan and Ivar laughing through it was funny to me.
That was funny.
And
I would
Dylan's
absolutely
like, oh, this is what I do for fun.
I would absolutely hate the snake part, but watching it just brought me back to a moment from the Challenge Bloodlines, season 27, when I was like, this is why Cara Maria needs to be on the Traitors.
I would love for Cara Maria to be on the Traitors.
Yeah.
She has a funny part where they do a similar challenge to have to face off in a box against a live snake, and all the cast is freaking out, and Cara is just like, "Hey, little buddy."
That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my next notice. Snake ... Nope.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And then we get a sudden death between 2 pairs where the boxes are filled with, I don't remember what. They're filled with some sort of bug, and there's a ring somewhere amongst the box full of bugs. And the first team to find it wins. Like, this challenge just gets more and more unhinged the further it goes, and I love it. I wouldn't want to do it, but it's funny to watch.
I would never want to do it. It was an entertaining for sure.
Yeah, it was something. My goodness.
Yeah. So we get back to the house, and I wasn't taking as many notes as usual. Rob decided that his plan was to plan it on Brittany for framing him, which was interesting because she was an ally to him last week. It was like trying to get votes off of him.
Yeah.
And so that's who he's deciding.
I think this was the wrong plan from Rob, because by trying to frame it on Brittany after he just killed Derrick just brought more attention to him. I think if Rob was somehow, and the chance of him making out of this roundtable no matter what he does is less than 10%. But if Rob is somehow going to make it out, he has to go after another traitor and shake up the game.
I would agree.
He made 2 or 3 at least bad moves in a row here. Killing Derrick was one. Deciding Brittany was who he was going to go after was another.
I think that was the worst one. I don't think killing Derrick was horrible. He could have killed a non-target and just made it a lot easier on himself, but
I think killing Derrick was bad because he did it right after Derrick went after him so hard at the round table. Like, who else is going to kill him at that point?
But it's like, I know I've been saying this for a few weeks, but just watching this chaos in the turret week after week, I'm like, yes, Rob already went after one traitor, but he has to do it again, recruit the right person, and that's his only way out of this mess. and he never did.
Well,
a mess he created for himself.
Yes, absolutely.
the thing is, with Derrick Levasseur here, if he didn't kill him, I think I still don't like the move, but the more I think about it, if he didn't kill Derrick, I think that the likelihood that he makes it through the week goes even further down.
Exactly. That's why I don't mind it.
There enough.
I mean, a dead
And
Derrick.
especially, it's like when we're watching Rob with Derrick again. From everything I've heard about Derrick, it's taking me back to watching Rob try to use 101 level strategies against Sarah Lucina. And that's just not going to work. Derrick's a great player, and that's why he had to go.
And we're talking about a person in the castle trying to find the traitors who is a career detective.
Exactly.
Yes.
Funny enough, of my example, also which Sarah is.
Exactly. That's the point. I mean, there was no way that it was incredible that he evaded Derrick's attempt once. There was no way that he was going to beat Derrick again.
Exactly.
So basically, for Rob to win Traitors, we need a whole castle of Matt Elrods and Philip Shepherds.
I don't even think you want Matt Elrods.
Maybe throw in a Natalie Tenorelli and an Ashley Underwood too.
I don't think you want Matt Elrods. Matt Elrod was very much against Rob, and that's what got him back on Redemption Island.
It got beat by Rob twice, though, is all I meant by that. And was dumb enough to say, hey, I considered voting you out when he came back in and got himself sent back.
I think he was going to get sent back neither way, but that's neither here nor there.
You did not push back at all on me, by the way, of putting Philip in the castle, so that's my takeaway.
With the point you were making, I would agree. If you want,
but Philip is a former federal agent. He also has a background in crime fighting. And struggles against law enforcement is what we're discovering. So maybe Philip outmaneuvers him on the Traitors.
No, because Derrick Levasseur and Sarah Lucina, those are real law enforcement people. Philip Shepard, whoever hired that guy and trusted him with any kind of security clearance or to arrest a human being, needs to be put in a dungeon.
I'm pretty sure they lie detector tested him, and he actually was a former federal agent, is the crazy part.
Well, that's fine, but whatever idiot hired him needs to be, I don't know, locked away, because that's like the worst HR decision in the world.
I'm going to guess whatever idiot's name is somebody who worked for Richard Nixon.
Oh my gosh. Well,
that would explain it.
We do know when we did our Pit Stop Pals fantasy season draft, I paired him and Coach on a race team together.
Oh, it was so bad. Yeah.
For no reason at all, other than just to see reaction. But
no proof that they've even ever met.
I stand by that pick. 1,000%. I want to see those two together, and I want to see them be the first team that goes home.
I think that would be a pretty likely scenario.
So we also have Rob asking Carolyn if she's down to banish Brittany, and Carolyn seems to agree. So we have at least two traitors on the same page here.
Yeah.
For once.
For once.
Which is one more than we usually have.
Hey, this isn't the last time in this episode that two traitors are on the same page.
True. And I will say, a big part of this episode that we didn't really touch on is the Danielle Brittany reconciliation. They paired together in the challenge, and whatever beef came from Rudolph's reindeer games seems to be squashed, maybe. So, good for them.
I already explained the beef. What do you mean, whatever beef?
I forgot.
Brittany was the direct.
It sounds like Brittany sent Danielle home is what Danielle was upset about. That's how games
Correct.
work. People send you home.
Correct.
I don't get. I'm missing something.
But it was like a betrayal.
Okay.
You would get mad if somebody blindsided you on Survivor.
If it was a really good blindside, part of me would be like, okay, good move. You saw me as
Bruce, you say that now. I don't think
hope
that's
that's
going
how I
through
would
your
react.
mind at tribal council.
I would hope I would be like, okay, good game. Like you saw me as a threat. That would be like how I would want myself to react.
There's a big difference between what I want and what is reality, though.
That's true.
But like the whole thing of, no, I'm mad you took money away from me. No, they took the chance of money away from you. You never had the money. You can't have something taken from you that you never had.
That's true also.
I don't like the whole, oh, you took $1 million from me. No, you never had it to be taken.
But if you don't go on that show thinking that the $1 million check's already got your name on it, what are you doing?
I know.
Good point.
That's just technicalities.
But
I'm
back
just
to the
talking.
show.
Hey, Brett, get back in the frame.
Yeah. Am I out? I was in on my screen.
You're
There you
migrating.
go. There you go.
All right, my screen is not the same size of the screen as you have, clearly. Odd. That's okay. What I was saying though is back to the show. I don't think this target from even Carolyn is gonna hurt Brittany that much because they ended up getting a traitor in Rob in the end. So just because she was targeted, it's easy to just pin that on, okay, Rob was trying to go after her.
And I guess we can go ahead and move into Roundtable here. Brittany was awesome at Roundtable.
Yeah.
To the point where like she was really good socially to where Dylan, who as Kevin mentioned is like Rob's fan club president this season.
I thought that was Jeff
He
Rose.
didn't think it was Rob or Brittany and didn't want to vote for either of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to vote for either of them. He knew it would be one of them and just kind of burned and threw away his vote.
Yeah, it's kind of like voting for Saquon Barkley to win an MVP.
We're not getting into that, but I was going to say like the burn vote is a pretty common thing on the challenge.
Oh, we're getting into that. Josh Allen is MVP.
I was happy he won.
Yes.
I was happy he beat Lamar. I would have voted for Saquon. I don't care if anyone else would have or not. He was the best player in the league.
Bruce and I had an argument about this.
And he said I was right, but told me I was wrong at the same time. I was very confused.
It's very true.
I don't know how both of them are true, but
do I get a minute to explain then?
Yes, but I'm only going to listen to the part where you said I was right. I'm going to ignore the other half.
Okay, Brett, this is my point. Do I think Saquon was the best or should have been MVP? Yes. But the NFL is in a place in time where the MVP is a quarterback's award. Fair. A vote for a non-quarterback is basically a vote for the person that you don't want to win at that point.
Makes sense.
And so even though I think Saquon deserves it, the fact that it's a quarterback award, if I had a vote in this, my vote goes to Josh.
Makes sense.
And I'm not giving in to peer pressure. I'm voting the way I'm supposed to vote and voting for who I think was the best player.
True.
And he said that just because that's how people are supposed to do it doesn't mean they should. So my takeaway was I should be the only NFL MVP voter.
And my response was
by his own words
that he should never be an NFL MVP voter.
Because I'm doing it the right way and how it should be done, by your own words. Again, I told you that's the only part I'm going to listen to.
Yes, I know. You just like to spend my own words against me.
I don't put words in your mouth near as much on this show as I do on our other show.
You're right.
I behave better over here.
Okay, back to the round table.
Yeah, so Dylan pulls a challenger move and burns his vote.
Yep.
Tom also gets 2 votes, even though the whole roundtable was about Rob and Brittany.
I literally wrote that down when you said Challenger moved it. I'm just like, Dylan is playing like, why isn't Wes doing this?
Yeah.
Probably because Wes is not there anymore.
That's right.
Speaking of Wes, he made an appearance this week on the Social Game Podcast.
Yep.
With Michelle Fitzgerald and Kelly Nalbandian. And he was talking about some Traitors stuff that I wanted to bring up. Evidently, for a couple of days, or like when the Cage Boys came into the game, they started a rumor that because they came in late, that there was no possible way any of them were traitors. And that kept the heat off for like an extra 2 days.
Yeah, because Alan is going to care about that.
But it worked.
It did.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Wes brought 2 suits with him where he had in one of them embroidered in the name tag Faithful and the other one Traitor, so that he could
so that if he got to the end, he could reveal it on his suit.
Yeah, and he was showing people that, see, my suit even says I'm faithful, but they cut it out of the episode.
Aw.
I listened to that podcast while driving 3 hours to Joliet, Illinois this morning. Very fun episode.
I love it. It's
so yeah, it's great.
I hope they get picked up for more episodes next off season. We shall see.
Hopefully.
It'd be great.
So.
And evidently Wes Bergman is neighbors with Travis Kelce. So.
Really?
Did you listen to the episode?
Pardon?
Did you listen to the podcast?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. We just spoiled part of it for you.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, it's usually my Monday thing because I'm not stuck in meetings like I am on Thursday and Friday.
I listened to it today.
So, yeah, I listen to it each week. What day I listen to it varies depending on what I'm doing each week.
Nice.
So, I put Rob banished, sad, but he had a good run. And then at midnight, the 6 players eligible for murder will proceed to the castle's church, and one of them will not return.
Yeah, with a in-person banishment. I mean, murder. An in-person murder.
Last week they said we were going to see the in-person murder this episode.
And they lied.
And we did not see that.
Yeah, and that's because they want you to keep watching. So they
Exactly.
False advertising. I'm suing.
Do it. Good luck. No, don't sue because you're going to get our podcast canceled.
Just don't sue on this side of the border or you'll get laughed out of court in about 5 minutes.
Do what?
Don't
That
sue.
would happen on this side of the border too. It's okay.
Oh, so up here, you guys have the reputation of just suing everybody for no reason.
To be fair, we are the country that had a woman sue McDonald's because their coffee was hot and won. So,
yeah.
To be fair, the coffee was way hotter than it was supposed to be, but the story itself is still kind of like, wow, that happened.
Yeah, but if you tried to do this suing, I don't think you'd even make it to court.
Yeah,
probably not. I can't afford to hire a lawyer in the first place, much less go after NBC.
That's true. They would eat you alive.
Yeah. And as far as this podcast getting canceled, I have 2 others to fall back on. So.
What are we, chopped liver?
No, I'm just, I don't want this to get canceled, but they don't know that. I need to present a strong front.
Yeah, as the co-founder of this podcast network, I'm sure they're going to believe that you don't care about one of your podcasts being canceled.
I'm bluffing.
Well, you just made that known on air.
NBC doesn't listen to this, I don't think. I hope they do.
I'm sure they would if you started suing them.
If NBC execs, if you're listening, I'm not actually going to sue you. If you don't know me very well, don't take very much of what I say seriously.
Don't take anything he says seriously.
And I repeat what I say in a lot of podcasts. PepsiCo execs, if you are listening, give me a Mountain Dew sponsorship and free soda.
Again, nothing he says you should take seriously.
As much of their product as I drink, they should absolutely give me a Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Not dressed like that, they won't.
Fair enough. Just give me a Mountain Dew can costume and free soda.
Okay. PepsiCo execs, I'm all for this. If you make him wear a Mountain Dew costume on every podcast he hosts.
So now I know where this is coming from, because for the last 4 episodes of both this show and of Tribal Council Chat, I'm sitting there going, do I ask Bruce what the hell is going on with the Mountain Dew?
He does that all the time.
I've been doing that since
camera.
I started podcasting. Did you just notice that?
Yes. Maybe a month
I
ago.
go to take a drink and I show the label in case PepsiCo watches the show and they see I'm
man,
kind of advertising for them. So
Brett, you are late to the party.
Soda.
That's funny.
I'm already advertising for you. You may as well pay me for it.
Why would they pay you if you're doing it for free?
Because I want soda.
Still, you
All
should
right, so
stop doing it now.
who is
I'm
going to
not
be the
smart.
who is going to be the victim of the face-to-face murder?
Okay, prediction time.
It's going to be me, and Kevin's going to kill me because he's tired of my crap all the time.
That's true. Pit Stop Pals is going to be a solo podcast from now on.
Oh, God.
No, he's going to wait to do it till one of our friends from college comes on the show that we're planning to do, and that's going to be his new co-host.
Can you imagine Caleb Theobald being my co-host?
You antagonize him more than you do me.
You're right.
No,
Anyway,
look, real
who's it going to
prediction.
be? Who's it going to be?
I'm going to go with Tom for the murder because he was the one that they showed him turning around in the church, and he had this really shocked look on his face.
I think that's way too obvious.
Yeah.
I thought killing Dick. Well, there's been a few moves I thought would be too obvious to make that they've
No.
Uh-huh.
I think it's way too obvious for them to show it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Not
I'm
too
going to go with that as my prediction.
Not too obvious as a traitor move. Too obvious as a post-production move.
Exactly.
I stand by my prediction.
All right, Brett, what do you think? While you're thinking, I'll go.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Dylan.
Interesting.
Way too obvious.
No, not at all.
I know, that's just what you said when I said mine.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But mine
doesn't fit at all here, but
mine made sense. Yours doesn't. I just think that Dylan is the most traitor hunter-esque here.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be the right time to do it.
Interesting.
That's smart.
I'm gonna say Gabby here.
Okay.
Just as the kind of off the board player that when you're looking at, there probably is going to be a recruitment after this, making it as out of target as you could for anyone, that be it Carolyn or Danielle.
Yeah, I think that'd be a very confusing move, which sometimes the traders like to do.
You want to do, especially after a big target like Rob just walked out.
Absolutely.
It would never happen because neither of the remaining traders would want to work with him. But I would love to see Tom get recruited to be a trader just to see how he would do.
That would be wild. Also, the fact that the 3 Cage Boys went out in a row.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so who do you guys think is going to be banished next episode?
Banished next episode. Let me.
Is this assuming I'm right about the kill?
Yes.
Because if I'm wrong about him getting killed, I think Tom gets banished. Because he keeps getting votes.
But you have to assume that you're right about the kill.
Well, according to you, I'm never right.
But for this exercise, you have to assume you're right.
Okay. Well, that's
I'm
nothing
going to
to anymore.
say what was just said and that Dylan is my pick for banishment next week.
Interesting. My pick for banishment is going to finally be Sierra. I
Nice.
think that she will it'll finally come back to she's been somebody who they've thought could be in the past, and with Rob being gone and it kind of being back to square one, I think that she would be somebody that they might default to, since her name has also been brought up previously.
Makes sense. I guess since you gave a description, I just should go into why I'm picking Dylan, which I did not do. I think it just makes sense that with all of that evidence presented by Derrick about Rob and that they finally got him, that the one person that you've noticed week after week is defending Rob, the other cast members might assume might just be a traitor themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For next week's banishment, I am going to make a complete off the wall guess here. I think something unexpected happens, and I have no reasoning for this, but I'm going to say Chriselle gets banished.
Okay.
I'm just throwing a dart in the wind at that, but if it happens, I'll look like a genius.
Yeah.
You still won't look like a genius, but okay.
I'm going to claim I am if it happens, though.
You just admitted on air that you were throwing a dart into the wind.
But if it's a smart dart, then I was still right, and I'm still going to brag about it.
You can brag. That's fine. Bragging and claiming genius are two very different things.
Well, I've claimed a visionary already. It's really only a small step from there to genius.
So I got one more thing
to
do before the end, because now we're into the final third of the show, where it's really going to start picking up. Before we wrap up, I want to know who does everybody see winning at this point, and also throw the name of a dark horse player that maybe you're just starting to see as a potential winner.
Okay. Who's going to start? I can.
I think Brittany wins.
I'm ready, so I'll go.
All right. I'll go after you. Boost can have some time to decide.
Okay. So I'm still going to stick with Carolyn right now. I don't think that anybody really has an idea that she is a traitor.
Yeah.
And I think Carolyn and Danielle will work together for now, but I don't think that they're going to work together all the way to the end. My dark horse, however, would be Brittany.
You took both of my answers.
Okay.
Hey! That's why I wanted to go first, so I didn't look like a copycat.
Well, I'm going to look like a copycat because I refuse to come up with new answers, because those are good ones.
Yeah, those are good ones.
She's come into the spotlight the last couple weeks, especially, but especially if they end up actually recruiting her, I think she's got a great path.
Yeah. I'm definitely also going to say Carolyn on this as the mainstay. I think she's been in that spot really this whole game, and still no one's brought her up except Rob at one point for half a second while he was just trying to throw anything at the wall and everyone knew it.
And Danielle, obviously.
Yeah. For a dark horse player, I'm going to go a bit off the wall here. There's just something telling me I've seen his edit in the show picking up a bit. Could Tom win this game as a faithful?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Especially coming on, as we talked about, with like all the heat he's been going on in the Bravo world.
Okay, if he wins though, and like
everybody,
especially if he wins by himself, imagine how all the Bravo people.
A faithful can't win by themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
he would win with somebody, but I don't know who.
But if he wins, imagine how all the Bravo fans, your sister included, based on
Yes,
her reactions to explaining him to us, are going to react.
exactly. That's why it would be amazing.
I want to see that now. Him and Brittany can be the two faithfuls that win.
I do not think that would go well for the Traitors.
Yeah.
Well, what would not go well? Tom winning?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they would actually lose viewership.
It would
Probably.
be so funny though. And kind of just seeing people's reactions would be great.
But I mean, it's not like, say, Survivor will lose another season in a couple months. When they wrap up this season in March, the next season's going to be in January. So,
Hey. So we assume.
fair.
There's been talks for a while now that they're going to move to a two season year.
Oh.
Yes, and you guys are forgetting that the Traitors, Rudolph's Reindeer Games, is coming.
You're ridiculous.
Only the missions. It's only the bugs and the fun houses and the boat and the Viking boats.
Nobody would watch that.
Well, no, because the mission is the least interesting part usually, unless there's a fun house or thousands of different types of bugs.
Still the least interesting part.
Or just me being fascinated with Scotland, but that doesn't appeal to Americans.
Correct.
Yeah, you weirdo.
Excuse me.
Well, does anybody have anything else they want to mention about the episode before we wrap?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
And we're now going into episode 8. So, I mean, we got like 4 episodes left. I think they said it's 11 this season.
8, 9, 10, 11, and a reunion. Yep.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah. And continue checking out our Reality Realm content here. If you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify.
Hey, that's perfect because it means the reunion will air on the 12th. So it's...
Nope, the reunion is airing the same night as the finale.
Oh, okay. So then it'll air on the 5th. The point is this season will wrap up before I go to the Caribbean.
All right. Yeah, that's great.
So I'm not missing
travel
nothing.
very often. You must be looking forward to that.
Yeah. Wow. You seem deprived of some sun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just out freezing on a 7.8 kilometer skating rink, Guinness World Record holder, by the way, Ottawa, Canada, in about 9 o'clock at night. So
The only thing that Ottawa's known for.
it is. I mean, that and government, which is a waste of everybody's time and money.
And
that's the political science guy.
Yeah.
And for those of you, peek behind the curtain for the audience, he told us about the really long ice skating rink before we hit recording. My suggestion was next time combine roller skating and ice skating and wear roller skates on the giant ice skating rink and see what happens.
And I told Bruce that he needs to go do that.
Well, I'm better at telling other people to do things.
Well, we should wrap up and head to bed.
Yes. Yeah. So, like I was saying, check out all of our...
It's a different day for me than it is for the two of you right now.
What?
It's a different day on the calendar for me than the two of you right now.
He's an hour ahead of us.
I didn't even know it was 11, how late it was. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's finish.
Check out our Reality Realm stuff. Tribal Council Chat, Pit Stop Pals, Next Generation Challenge podcasts. Check out our Redbubble store. You can find the link on our socials. Check us on Facebook, Instagram, and anywhere that you listen to podcasts. That's a lie. Just Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And with
pretty much all people use, but yeah.
Hey, other people use other things.
Fair enough. Not our audience.
Well, at least not for our shows. Bruce, sign us out.
Don't get murdered.